we are back where North Carolina Avenue meets the boardwalk in the Queen of Resorts, Atlantic City, New Jersey. And tonight, Budweiser, the king of beers, presents USA Tuesday night fights from the Coconut Ballroom at Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel. And we're gearing up for the centerpiece of the evening, our main event. It's scheduled for 12 rounds for the USBA middleweight title. Bernard Hopkins against Lupe Aquino. Bernard Hopkins has eliminated 25 opponents, 19 via the knockout route, with the tools of an executioner. Excellent punching power, destructive hand speed, devastating combinations, a rock-solid chin. Yet for the number 2 IBF middleweight, there has been one defining moment he's trying to erase. A 12-round loss to Roy Jones 1 year ago for the IBF middleweight crown. That loss has hurt his ability to sign for another marquee match.
Why take the chance? I put myself in deeper in the hole because I didn't win a world title from Roy Jones. I had my shot, yes. I'm still there, yes. But why fight him? So fighters go around me. So-called good fighters that's pound for pound or whatever, the tearing arms moving up. If you don't move up, they go around me. Why take a chance on fighting Hopkins? What do we have to offer if we beat him? If we lose, you know, we got to climb back up, and we don't end up helping him. So by me not having the world title, the bottom line is I made it like tough for myself to get the opponents that I want.
Hopkins must continue to execute his talents, hoping that the Tonys, Jones, and Tates will eliminate each other in the upcoming months. He practices what he preaches.
I have to be perfect every night because the chips already is not playing my way. So why should I dig a hole deep in myself and don't do the things that make Bernard Hopkins in shape and get ready mentally and physically for the fight? Then I'm hurting my own self. I mean, if the road is rough getting there doing the right thing, then it's going to be really rough doing the wrong thing. Not being in the gym and not training, not focusing, coming to the gym, see fighters come on USA and you're 30 pounds, 15 pounds overweight, talking about they got a title shot coming in 3 months. Come on, that's a joke. I have to come in there in shape like it's a world. This is a world-class title fight for me. This is for the world championship. Because if I don't win this, there's no Roy Jones. There's no Thomas Tate. There's nobody. It's staying down in the local, in the B fighter range. And I don't want to be a B fighter.
So tonight, Hopkins will be tested by a quality opponent and former junior middleweight champ, Lupe Aquino, who now at age 31 is out to prove he still has the marvelous boxing abilities and finishing power he used in the past to defeat such notables as Davey Moore, Dwayne Thomas, Milton McCrory, and Pepino Cuevas. Aquino does not come here to be the hunted, but rather the hunter.
I'm going to go out there and test his ribs, go to the body and try to take him in the body and then finish up in the head and take his heart away. I'm good at that, and once I get into that position where I hurt my opponents and I straight take the heart away, completely dominate them. And that is the key when I fight a fighter, is just put in the first punches. Let them feel my power. Once I let them know that I got power, they back off. They start their mind to worry a little.
The tough guys coming to fight, wings a good left hook. But Bernard's got a lot of tools to work with. If Lupe want to fight, I box. If he want to box, I cut him off. I'm not going to play his game, Sean. I'm not going to wait on him. The respect is going to come the first minute of the round. I'm going to establish my respect there. You know, establish, let him know that, and he's going to try to establish it. If he's smart, he's going to try to establish that he's the boss. But I have to establish from the bell that I'm the executioner, I'm the man, I'm the boss, and you're not going to win this fight.
Hopkins gave Roy Jones Jr. too much respect in his loss. Does he need to be careful not to do the same thing to a buzzsaw such as Aquino?
Well, he's always got to be careful of that. And against somebody like Aquino, who cracks very good, you got to be extremely cautious, especially early. If anybody can do that, though, it is Bernard Hopkins. Hopkins, though, at 28 years old, if he happens to lose this fight, which I don't think so right now, if he happens to lose it, he can rebuild. Lupe Aquino, though, he's taking no prisoners tonight. He needs a win, and he needs it bad.
And the question is, does Aquino at 31 still have something left?
Yeah, well, you know what? The last thing that a fighter loses is his punch. He is going to be powerful tonight, although I think the speed of Bernard Hopkins will prevail.
Well, Bernard Hopkins A record of 25-2, 19 KOs from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love. A lot of his fans came over to Atlantic City for this fight tonight. It's only about 60 miles, and they're very enthusiastic about his opportunity to chase a world title down the line. And tonight he defends his USBA middleweight belt. Time for a look at the tail of the tape. Aquino is 3 years older than Hopkins. The contract weight was 160 pounds. Hopkins 3 inches taller. The reach advantage 1.5 inches for Aquino. And they'll be using the USBA rules tonight. Standing 8 count will be in effect. 3 knockdown rule not in effect. Fighter can be saved by the bell in the last round only. And again, they will use the 10-point must scoring system. 3 judges will score the fight. The referee will not. Once again, it's time to check out Sean's blackboard to see how he sizes up tonight's bout.
On tonight's boxing blackboard, brought to you by Head & Shoulders, USBA middleweight champion Bernard Hopkins. Your strengths are focused. Mentally, your concentration is unbeatable. And you're very adaptable. A world-class fighter with power in each hand who can box or slug. Weaknesses are few. Though you've only lost twice, Bernard, when you get behind, it's hard for you to turn it around and come back. And you seem to despise speed. Your challenger is Lupe Aquino. Your strength is just that, very strong. Good balance and can move forward while scoring. And hard punches. 34 KOs and 46 wins. Lupe can crack. His weaknesses? He sacrifices speed for power. He's slow, deliberate, and because of that, Lupe gets hit too much.
We're back in the Coconut Ballroom here at Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and live on the USA Network around the country as Tuesday Night Fights main event, being promoted by Butch Lewis Productions and Budweiser, the king of beers, in association with Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel, and is approved by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, the Honorable Larry Hazard Senior Commissioner, and is sanctioned by the USBA, the Honorable Robert W. Lee, President, and the supervisor in charge in attendance at ringside. Our judges, Eugene Grant, Al DeVito, and Frank Brunette. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of this scheduled 12-round middleweight bout, referee Rudy Battle. And now, my good friends, introducing the principals. First in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the gold and black trim. He tipped in at an even 160 pounds. Now, this young man has 46 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws, with 34 knockouts. He is the former WBC middleweight champion of the world, all the way from Santa Paula, California. Here is the challenger. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Lupe Aligans Aquino. Aquino. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the gold trunks with the black trim. He weighed in at an even 159 pounds. Now get a load of this. This fella has 25 wins, 2 losses with 19 knockouts. He is the current USBA middleweight champion and ranked in the top 10 in all major sanctioning bodies. From the Germantown section of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, here is Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins. Hopkins.
Okay, gentlemen, you've both received your pre-fight instructions. I expect a clean break at all times. Let's have a nice, clean fight. Any questions here? All right, let's touch gloves and return to your corners. Touch up. All right.
Bernard Hopkins, number 2 IBF, number 5 WBA, number 7 WBC. This is 4th defense of the USBA middleweight title. And we are set to go. Round 1 scheduled for 12 for the USBA middleweight title at Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel in Atlantic City.
Yeah, good power in that right hand from Lupe Aquino. He describes himself as an aggressive boxer puncher. He says his best punch is the left hook, but I've felt both of them in sparring. I think his right's better. As for Bernard Hopkins, I've never sparred with him, and I don't care to. He's a boxer puncher. He says he does not throw unnecessary punches. His best shot is the right cross.
I want you to reiterate what you said in the open. How good do you think Hopkins is?
I think he reached another level in the Roy Jones fight. Even though Roy Jones beat him, and he says too much speed. That's one of the things that gives him trouble. Too much speed in that fight. But even in that fight, I saw the concentration, the eyes, the focus of Bernard Hopkins, and I saw him reach to another level. Good overhand right from Aquino. Aquino must score with that overhand right and score often and early. You know, a fight of this nature, you have to win those first 3 rounds. Get your opponent back behind the 8 ball.
And plenty of action this first round. Hopkins goes to the body and scores, and then a short uppercut.
There is too much at stake in this. The USBA championship. Oh, scoring well, Bernard Hopkins. But whenever your opponent rallies like Lupe did just before that rally from Bernard, you got to steal it back if you're Hopkins. You are the champion.
Superb counter by Hopkins, who lands the straight right hand again. And now Aquino doubling up on the jab. And Aquino blocking the jab of Hopkins nicely.
Yeah, and Lupe is real strong also. When he lowers his center of gravity, it's hard to knock him over.
Inside a minute in round 1, scheduled for 12. Pretty good action, not much feeling out as they normally do. Hopkins missed on the right.
They both know they got to go right to work. In this fight, Bernard said that he wanted to complement Aquino's style. He wanted to jump right on him at first and then back off, try not to stand in there and slug with Aquino.
Hopkins finally got through that wall of defense.
Yeah, Lupe does a good job keeping his hands up high.
Hopkins with a quick jab, and he counters with the right hand to the stomach.
See the hands of Aquino up by his face. Now tying up Bernard.
Final seconds of round 1. We pause now for a word from your local cable system. A very good crowd tonight at the Coconut Ballroom at Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Round 2 for the USBA middleweight title. Bernard Hopkins in the all-yellow trunks. Lupe Aquino in the white trunks with the yellow trim. And right to the body goes Hopkins. Hopkins is building his attack around the body first.
Oh, yeah, he said he was going to start hitting downstairs early. He said, at this level, everyone is dangerous, talking about Lupe Aquino. Said control must be established early. And he's right. Both of them right back to work. Bernard Hopkins is a very disciplined fighter, a consummate professional. Said he was going to keep Lupe Aquino in the middle of the ring, and he was going to look for the holes. See the defense of Aquino? He keeps his hands up nicely, as we talked about last round. You got to search around for those openings. They're in there. You just got to find them. You got to find where your gloves will fit. You don't want to hit him on the elbows or on the gloves.
He found a little bit of an opening there with the right hand, and it paid off. Some swelling under the left eye of Aquino.
Yeah, that's from the overhand right of Hopkins.
Body blows employed again by Hopkins.
Yeah, in a 12-round fight, you don't want to get too excited early. You want to get control of the fight, but you don't want to lay everything out on the table. If you get a chance to knock your opponent out, yes, you go for it. But you don't want to punch yourself out either. It is scheduled for 12. You got plenty of time.
Aquino is known for relentless pressure, but thus far, Hopkins has dictated the fight.
Yeah, dictated the fight, and this is the way the fighters from Philadelphia box. They get in there and they
get on their opponent. They move well on the inside, and they punch. They love to fight. This is an action match.
Combination by Hopkins.
Downstairs and then up.
So many great fighters from Philadelphia over the years. Joe Frazier, Joey Giardella, Harold Johnson, Tommy Loughran, Matthew Saad Muhammad, Bob Montgomery, Luke Tendler. The list goes on and on. But I'll tell you, they've never had a middleweight champion come out of Philadelphia, and they've had middleweights such as Georgie Benton and Benny Briscoe and Willie Monroe and Boogaloo Watson saw earlier tonight. But Hopkins might become the first if he continues to improve.
Some outstanding fighters from Philly. Oh, good right hand from Hopkins. Hopkins is landing with that overhand right.
Final seconds of round number 2. Good defense by Aquino. Blocked most of those punches as the second round draws to a close. Well, there's a big bout coming up between Roy Jones and James Toney in October. Jones, the IBF middleweight champion, and Toney, the IBF 168-pound champion. Hopkins, of course, has taken on Roy Jones and lost. And we posed this question to Hopkins: who would win, Jones or Toney?
If I had to pick between Roy Jones and James Toney, I would say James Toney. Why is because I think James Toney is a guy that's very hard to hit. I think he fights off emotions. Some fighters fight off for different reasons. Some fighters fight hard because they need certain things. Some fighters like to fight because they like to fight. James Toney fight off of his emotions. To take that out of him, like people were saying, he's a nasty guy. That's what gets him up. If that's what gets him up and pushes his button, then stick with it. If he's losing, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. James Toney is a great fighter. Roy is a good fighter, two different fighters. And I think that Roy will have to stop dancing and fight. This is going to be a fight where as though people want to see, Roy, what are you made out of? If we're going to pay you these dollars, we want to see what you're made out of. The same with Hopkins and any other fighters that's claiming they the best.
Yeah, you know, Bernard Hopkins realized how important activity is. And when he talks about that, James Toney has been the more active of the two fighters. And in a lot of ways, I think he's right. Bernard Hopkins knows the importance of activity.
Bernard Hopkins got the right hand through.
Yep.
One of the few times that Aquino has allowed his guard to come down.
And one of the few times Aquino has backed up. Now, that's why this fight was important for those first few rounds. You have to establish control. Luku's backing up now. And now it may just be a matter of rounds for Bernard Hopkins, because this is not the way that Luku Aquino fights.
Rudy battle separates the fighters. Aquino is giving away the body to protect the head.
Yes. And when you do that in a 12-round fight, you give away the fight.
Crisp, quick body blow by Hopkins.
Yeah, we've seen Hopkins before, and he is always busy. Relentless puncher.
And Aquino with a combination.
Yeah, when you're moving in and you're throwing punches, you leave yourself open occasionally.
Lupe is 31, 283 total rounds as a pro. Hopkins with 107 total rounds. Aquino has held the NABF and Mexican national title.
Good left hook from Aquino. Downstairs.
And one of the few times in the fight we've seen Hopkins look to tie up his opponent, get a little rip. He can't get that right hand through. The one thing that Aquino is preventing is the right hand on the button upstairs.
Yeah, it's because the hands of Aquino are up around his face. If he could reach over and pull those hands down, then he could score with them, or go downstairs to the body. Forget about the head. Go downstairs to the body until those hands come down. But later in the fight, the hands will come down in the fight. Your opponent starts protecting his body, not realizing his chin is exposed. There's a little feint from Aquino. Trying to take the control back from Hopkins, trying to turn the fight around.
He toyed with him a little bit, didn't really work.
And also saying to Hopkins, come on and hit me, you're not hurting me. Aquino realizes how important it is for Hopkins to punch, for Hopkins to work for Aquino. Remember the last fight? James Hughes, how he made Tucker Pudwell punch early. He was tired late. That's what Lupe's looking for.
He was born in South Carolina, but Smokin' Joe Frazier made Philadelphia home.
Smokin' Joe, a class man, credit to boxing. And a very happy birthday to Sugar Ray Leonard today, who is 38. Four-time champion of the world, Sugar Ray Leonard.
This is round 4, scheduled for 12 for the USBA middleweight title. Bernard Hopkins defending the belt against Lupe Aquino. Hopkins in the yellow trunks, Aquino in the white trunks with the yellow trim.
Wow.
Rudy Battle, third man in the ring.
What a battle it is to get those two separated. Rudy Battler.
Good body blow. Hopkins
body
is
touch.
jumping on those body punches.
Oh, yeah. The body punches accumulate. Your opponent can shake off shots to the head. Downstairs, you don't shake those off. And Bernard doing a great job moving forward with his punches. His chin is down. He's moving with his weight behind his shots. Aquino going backwards. This is not the way Lupe fights. He fights going forward, using that left hook to the body, moving his opponent backwards.
Hopkins is throwing punches efficiently and effectively.
Yeah, downstairs. Now look how Aquino covering up downstairs when they break.
Well, that's not an easy task, is it?
Lupe talking to him. Lupe has a loose cup underneath these trunks. He keeps falling down, and Lupe keeps pulling those trunks up. That is a disadvantage. When you've got your hands down trying to pull up your cup, you leave yourself open.
I don't think a boxer would ever want a loose cup. Hopkins with the right hand counter. And now look at southpaw. Aquino has switched to southpaw.
Trying to confuse Bernard. You know, he tried, the last round he tried jumping at him. He tried throwing his arms out. Now he's trying something different, trying southpaw. This is experience talking. Twice as many fights for Lupe Aquino than Bernard Hopkins.
He's had 54 professional fights, 46 wins, 34 knockouts. But right now he's in with a buzzsaw from Philadelphia, Bernard Hopkins. Hopkins won 22 straight fights before losing to Roy Jones Jr. Interestingly enough, he turned pro at 177 pounds and lost his pro debut, and then he decided to drop down to 166, and after that, his record improved dramatically.
Oh, yeah. Serious fighter. Really takes his career, takes the game serious. Says, I cannot afford to have a bad day. I'm a professional. I must be perfect.
Final seconds of round number 4 from Merv Griffin's Resort Hotel in Atlantic City, Jersey, at the Coconut Ballroom at Merv Griffin's Resorts. This is round 5, scheduled for 12. USBA middleweight title on the line. Bernard Hopkins and Lupe Aquino. And thus far, Sean O'Grady, I have Hopkins pitching a shutout.
Oh, yeah. The first round I thought was close. And I called that first a draw. But ever since then, it's been all Bernard Hopkins. Bernard landing, scoring on the inside, going well downstairs, and then doing a great job coming upstairs. Bernard says that he does not want to waste any shots. He might work on not punching to his opponent's face, to his opponent's hands in front of his face. Punch to his face, not to hit the hands. Or a lot of times what you do is you try to just punch right through their fists. If you hurt their hand, that's their bad luck. Oh, good. There's a good right hand from Aquino.
Aquino has landed 3 or 4 left hooks to the body in this round.
Yeah, somebody woke Lupe up. Now Lupe scoring well with that looping right hand.
Good choice of words.
But you can't wait with a fighter like Hopkins. You have to control with something, and Lupe has lost his jab.
Hopkins taking a bit of a breather here in the 5th.
Yeah, and what a good opportunity for Aquino. Where is the left jab from Aquino is causing him problems. He's lost it.
Uppercut by Hopkins was sharp, and it landed right on the butt. upstairs, but nothing happening.
Now looking over to his corner is Aquino. So Abel Sanchez, his corner man, I'm okay. But he must start throwing punches.
Hopkins
this is a terrible impression on the judges. Oh, he's getting through. Downstairs, he's getting through.
Hopkins all business. He is continuing to lean on his opponent. Finally, Rudy Battle separates the fighter. Right hand upstairs, got through.
No punches from Lupe.
This was a round Lupe could have won.
When fighters get up there in age, now I'm not meaning that 31 is old, as Lupe's age is, but when they get up there in age, in boxing years, they quit throwing punches. They can't get off. A lot of times they say after the fight, I could see the opening, but I just couldn't score against it, the shot.
Well, it's time for a little quiz on Tuesday Night Fights. May 17th, 1975, this evening. Who knocked out David Williams in the first round in Arkansas to improve to 9-0? And May 17th, 1977, who KO'd Tony Sanchez in the second round to improve to 47-1? The question will be answered by my partner. What is the answer?
I do not know the answer. Could that be me?
It is,
Is
folks.
it? Oh, wow. Where'd you get that?
I found that stuff.
Oh, you did your homework.
He's that old, folks.
Wow.
81-5, Sean
coloring
O'Grady.
gray again, man. Bruce, you're pushing me over the top here.
Oh, the 70s. That was your time period.
The 70s, Disco Mania. It was in. Bell bottoms.
You didn't know that this was such a big night in your life, huh?
Those leisure, I did not. Those days are gone. The good old days. The good old thing about the good old days is they're good old gone.
Well, this is May 17th, 1994, and it's Bernard Hopkins night. The right hand got through easily a moment ago. I thought that Aquino could have won the fifth round, but Hopkins was much busier the last minute and a half, and he probably got the judge's attention, especially when Aquino hung up against the ropes for 45 seconds.
Oh, look at these combinations. Very pretty. Downstairs to the body, and then upstairs. Lupe Aquino is tough, durable, rugged, strong. He rolls just enough to try to take the power, some of the power out of these punches, and does just enough to stay in there. See him reaching for that cup. See him bending down. He puts his hands down and pulls up on the cup underneath his trunk. A disadvantage that a professional fighter has and should not have.
Well, this is probably the fight that Hopkins should have waged against Roy Jones Jr. Instead of commanding the respect, he should have been inside and trying to take the fight to Jones.
Yeah, and using the versatility that he has. He can box some rounds and sometimes, and then other times he moves in. You know, and he's doing a wonderful job here of finding the angles. Oh, and
Lupe
finding the
got
right
through
hand.
with the right hand finally.
Boom, and both of them did. Oh.
That's 7, 8, 9 punches without any answer from Aquino.
Yeah, this is just a lousy impression on the judges. When you're leaning against the ropes with your hands up like that, even if your opponent is not hitting you.
Hopkins is in superb shape. Hopkins' body is carved very nicely. He's been relentless.
Oh, yeah. No rest. Pressure, pressure, pressure.
Hopkins said before the fight, I will be the boss. I am the executioner. I will establish respect early. I think he's done all those things.
Oh, yeah.
The body blows will stay with you later into the evening.
You know it. Oh, yeah. Those body blows will stay with you all week. This weekend, he'll be saying, oh, there was that left hook in the 7th round, and I got hit. Ouch. 7th round hasn't even happened yet.
So we're halfway through this scheduled bout.
All right? Keep mind on your job, son. Keep mind on your job, all right? They'll be there. Same people be there. Give me the info of it.
The voice of Bowie Fisher.
They'll be there.
I made my job harder early.
Oh,
move that TV man out the way.
Turn your head around me a little bit. That's it.
Right here.
You're all right. You ain't got no problem. We try to
Fisher, former welterweight who boxed in the 40s and the 50s. He lost to Georgie Benton at a record of 13-5. Excellent trainer.
George, take a look at the rapidity of punches thrown by Hopkins.
Oh yeah, and a lot of punches too. Oh, combinations. He knows the score. He knows what you got to do. You got to put leather on your opponent's face, and he does. And Lupe Aquino tries to tie up. Aquino complaining between rounds about hurt ribs on his left side. There's Aquino again going back down to pull up his trunks. Aquino has an excellent left hook to the body, but he's lost it. And it's because of that rib over there, that rib injury. When you hurt your rib on one side of your body, like his left rib is hurt, every time you move that arm, it hurts. It pulls. He perhaps has broken ribs over there.
And again, Hopkins has Aquino up against the ropes and just continues to pick away and try to find the opening. Aquino finally got out of that tussle by using short uppercuts.
Oh, yeah. Attack, attack, attack.
Referee Rudy Battle's been busy.
Oh, yeah, he even visited the corner of Hopkins and said, don't make my job harder, meaning don't tie up on the inside.
Well, you've heard of doubling up in the jab. Hopkins doubled up on the body blows and then went upstairs and did the same thing, a combination. If you're going to throw punches, Sean, throw them in punches. Don't waste one, right?
Oh, you know it. One punch leaves the other. There's Battle. Trying to separate the two. Oh, big combination. And the holding on and tying up, this is because of all of the body shots that Aquino has taken. And experience of Lupe Aquino says, I don't want to get hit anymore. Got boom, big right hand.
A definitive straight right by Hopkins, followed up by a left hook to the body. He has mixed things up extremely well.
Yeah, and with Aquino, this is a fighter that Hopkins could do just what he wanted. Aquino is having so much trouble with the speed and the power of Bernard Hopkins, much like Bernard was having in his fight with Roy Jones.
Coming up on 30 seconds in round 7 for the USBA middleweight title. Hopkins' 4th defense. And Hopkins with a right hand that got over the left of Aquino. Might have been his best right of the fight. Aquino showing his strength, but only in a defensive mode.
Still tough.
Switching back and forth from orthodox to southpaw. We pause now for a word from your local cable system.
Oh, best punch of the night. Watch Hopkins downstairs. You work downstairs, get your opponent to drag his hands down, and then kaboom, crack. Right over the top. You will feel that tomorrow. Lupe will wake up and think, what did I do? And then it'll be worse Thursday and Friday. And then it'll finally start getting better.
Bruce Beck in tonight for Al Albert, who's on assignment, and the champ, Sean O'Grady, from Merv Griffin's Resorts in Atlantic City. And thus far, it has been a clinic turned in by Bernard Hopkins against a cagey veteran who's been in the ring with the likes of Marlon Starling, Gianfranco Rossi, Donald Curry, John David Jackson, Davey Moore. The list goes on and on.
Oh, yeah. Aquino been around for a long time. There he is. Michael Spinks, former heavyweight champion of the world and light heavyweight champion of the world. The first light heavyweight champion to become heavyweight champion. Michael Spinks. Cheering on Bernard Hopkins,
who is handled by Butch Lewis. And Michael, of course, aligned with Butch for many years.
Good combination from Hopkins.
Hopkins' speed has not slowed at all.
No. And Aquino staying just at the wrong distance. Moving in, moving forward, but staying out of the end of Hopkins' punches. Hopkins, this is a different Hopkins than we saw earlier in this fight. Remember how strong he was earlier? Now that he has control, trying to relax a little bit more, trying to take his time, pick his shots.
Aquino was incarcerated for 3.5 years after vehicular manslaughter and drunken driving in a fatal car accident in 1989. Since his comeback, he's been 6-1-1, and he's been looking pretty good. But tonight, he's just been badly outsplashed by Hopkins.
Yeah, but the last thing that a hitter loses is his power. And Hopkins must be aware of that. He has tasted some good overhand rights from Aquino.
So you're saying that
Aquino really needs that.
Sloppy, huh?
Exactly. Aquino really needs that too. You got to get that right hand going, but you have to set it up. You know, the way that Hopkins is moving in now, you have to try it. Put it out there, stick the jab, let him run into it a couple of times, and then when you got it set just perfectly, where you like it, where you crack him good, then you really put the power behind it. Unload. Smiling now is Aquino.
Hopkins continues to be on his toes.
Oh, good right hand. Hopkins turning that into a right hook.
Final seconds of round 8. And a little bit of light from Lupe Aquino as the bell sounds.
But another good round for Bernard Hopkins. Lupe Aquino did come alive there at the last final few seconds. Abel Sanchez leaning over him. Oh, that water tastes so good.
Well, we've talked about Lupe Aquino and the fact he's been in with quality opposition all of his career. And he's had some big victories over the years. He KO'd former champion Davey Moore. He also beat former champion Milton McCory. He beat Pepino Cuevas when Pepino was fading. And you can look at his other accomplishments, which are quite noteworthy. There's this Dwayne Thomas win for the WBC super middleweight title. That was the one world title that he owned in his career.
Yeah, and he lost it the next fight with Gianfranco Rossi. But the fight to Pepino Cuevas, he said, was more inspirational for him because that was his idol. The key losses for Lupe?
Starling, Rossi, Curry, John David Jackson. That's a quality group that he's fought over the years. And you know what else? It pays a little toll on your body.
Yes. He has been in some very tough fights and always gives 100%. In this one, he is just being outsped, outclassed, and beat. We're talking to him yesterday at the interviews. He said that he didn't see any problem in fighting Bernard Hopkins. And when fighters start saying that, you tend to wonder how they can get up for fights like this. Lupe has been around for a long time, but you cannot rely on your experience. You have to rely on a good, specific fight plan. Bernard Hopkins knew exactly what his fight plan was. Said, I'm fighting a good fighter. He saw Lupe against Bruno Phillips. He said he will try. Going to try to keep Lupe in the middle of the ring and look for the holes, and I think he's done that.
Hopkins is back to being boxer now after slugging for several rounds.
Yep.
Not a bad idea. Stay out of trouble.
No, you get in there and you get control, try to tone your opponent down, keep him in a defensive mode, and then you move. You change on him. Then let him follow you for a little bit. As he's following you, you're laying up your fight plan. You're gonna try to get him to run into something. Get him to come out of his shell.
Short uppercut by Hopkins.
Also tired of hitting the hands and the elbows with Bernard.
And that was the tone of Rudy Battle separating him, giving him a warning.
Yeah, when I say stop punching, Rudy says, I want you to stop punching.
Body blow, that was emphatic. And upstairs goes Hopkins. A minute to go in the ninth. Scheduled for 12. Hopkins' work ethic in this fight has been outstanding.
Oh yeah, great focus from him. Even in the Roy Jones fight, he was extremely focused even in the later rounds.
Aquino with those short chopping uppercuts, but didn't do too much damage to Hopkins. Right hand snuck through by Hopkins.
Experience of Aquino moving just enough to take the power out of these punches. Oh, he didn't take the power out of that.
That was a
He moved, but I think he moved with the help of Bernard Hopkins. The fist thrusting 80 miles an hour.
And Hopkins' busyness continues into this 9th round.
Pressure, pressure, pressure.
We'll be back. Welcome back to USA Tuesday Night Fights. And it is a stunning show being put on by Bernard Hopkins, defending his USBA middleweight belt against Lupe Aquino. We're in the 10th round. This fight scheduled for 12. And Aquino, I think, has been not only frustrated, but bewildered by the fact that he don't know what to do.
Yeah, he can't handle that speed, and every time he throws a punch, Hopkins hits him 2 or 3 times. See, there he is again. Hopkins punching in combinations, and now Aquino looking for that one punch.
Well, Roy Jones Jr. owns the 160-pound IBF title, and Gerald McClellan owns the WBC title. It only took him 83 seconds to dispose of Julian Jackson for the 2nd time. And in the WBA, it looks like John David Jackson is going to be stripped because he fought Jeff Johnson in a non-title fight in AC. So it's going to probably be Jorge Castro and Reggie Johnson fighting for that vacant WBA. From what I hear from sources, that may very well happen. But the question to you, Sean O'Grady, is where does Hopkins fit in this picture?
You know, Bernard Hopkins is outstanding, especially with fighters like Lupe Aquino. But there's a big difference in the Lupe Aquinos of the world and the James Tonys of the world, the Roy Jones Jr., Gerald McClellan, John David Jackson. There's a big Reggie Johnson, Jorge Castro. All of these fighters are a level above Lupe Aquino. I would like to see Bernard Hopkins in against a higher level fighter, like the fighters that we're talked about, because now I think he starts winning those big money and big fights, those super fights, because he is head and shoulders above the fighters like Lupe Aquino.
Rudy Battle gets in again.
Yeah, and he's had his test too. He's been beaten at that upper level, and he knows what to expect. He admits, I was a little bit in awe of Roy Jones Jr. and all of the atmosphere around those big fights. Next time he goes up, he will be ready.
Some fighters react negatively to a loss. I think he used it to fuel his fire.
You know he did. He is such a PMA type of person. Positive mental attitude.
And a lot of that has to do with his upbringing in Philadelphia and the fact that he was in trouble. Had to fight out of that. Hopkins spent time in jail.
4 years in prison for mugging. In prison, he was able to think, concentrate, and plan out what he wanted to do with his life when he got out. What he wanted to do is he wanted to box.
Final seconds of round 10, and again, it's Hopkins' show. It has been from beginning to end thus far. We'll be back. Budweiser presents USA Tuesday Night Fights. We're at Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Bruce Beck with the champ, Sean O'Grady, tonight. And this is the 11th round of the scheduled 12-round USBA middleweight title fight. Bernard Hopkins in complete command over Lupe Aquino.
Oh, yeah. Almost every round to Hopkins. Hopkins has scored while Aquino has covered up. Been too defensive tonight.
You know what, though? If Hopkins was in the ring against a guy who wasn't as good defensively as Lupe, it could have long been over.
Oh, yeah.
They're trading punches to the body.
19 KOs out of 25 wins for Hopkins.
Hopkins has Aquino backing up for one of the few times.
He could still get it.
He had Aquino definitely wobbly there for a couple seconds.
Go to work, says his corner. They think Aquino's ready to go.
Body blow. That was very much a crunching punch. Another digging left hook to the body. Might be his best punch of the night.
2 punches upstairs and then downstairs. Mix your attack. consummate professional. This is why I say Bernard Hopkins is like a textbook boxer.
Break. Let him go. Stop leaning, Bernard. Step back.
Former WBC junior middleweight champion Lupe Aquino has not had any answer for Hopkins. He's like a buzzsaw as he goes back to the body. And upstairs with a three-punch combination. Hopkins is just working and working and working.
Oh, yeah, the accumulation of punches. Earlier in this round, the knees buckled of Lupe Aquino from an overhand right.
There's no question that Aquino has an unbelievable chin here.
Oh, yeah, he is extremely tough.
Hopkins getting the fans excited. They'll come over from Philadelphia to cheer him on. Philadelphia fighter has never won a middleweight world championship. Could Hopkins down the road be the first? Still one more round to go, and that's bad news for Aquino, who has absorbed a great deal of punishment. Bernard Hopkins, trained by Bowie Fisher, Jack Links, managed and promoted by Butch Lewis.
Close the show for me. Inswell this, man.
Did a skillful game plan.
You got the inswell?
Take that. Take him, I'm gonna get his arm. Give me your arm, man.
Inswell that big. Pull up there. Pull up. I will.
He
Pull
looks
up.
pretty fresh.
Bernard, last round, we touched gloves in the center.
Watch when you touch gloves, you don't come over the top. On my leg. All right? Be on the cue.
Well, they're very happy over there in that corner. They should be, because Bernard Hopkins has thrown the power. Look at these punches from Bernard. Trying to battle back is Aquino, but Bernard puts him back in that shell.
I think he's got the right nickname, the Executioner, because he has executed excellently tonight.
Oh, yeah, boxing is about execution of your punches.
12th and final round for the USBA middleweight title, which Hopkins owns and is defending for the 4th time, and barring a one-punch out of nowhere knockout by Aquino, it may even be a shutout by Hopkins in the judges' scorecard.
Oh, look at that. Look at those punches from Hopkins. Trying to grab is Aquino, and Bernard just keeps firing. Double piston action. Boom, crack. Right down the pike.
This is a great learning tool for a young fighter out there to work the entire fight, never stop.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I say Bernard is like textbook boxing. See him throw the combinations with his hand left home, still up by his head. If you drop that home base hand, the hand that's not punching, you leave yourself open. Oh, man. Heavy shots.
Hopkins continuing to look for the knockout with arsenal from both hands.
Oh, yeah, look at Aquino tie up.
Hopkins putting the pressure on as he has throughout the fight.
Both hands are free. Let him go.
He made a statement yesterday, I still don't get the respect, that's why I'm driven to win the world title. He has been extremely driven in this fight.
Yeah, he's driving his punches right into the face of Lupe Aquino. Driven his left and driven his right.
A minute to go in the 12th and final round. Hopkins with a combination.
Downstairs and then up.
Aquino again a little bit wobbly, but he uses the ropes as a crutch and regains some of his legs. Aquino has switched to southpaw several times in the fight, and I think sometimes he even confused himself. still doubling and tripling up on the jab. Even after 35 and a half minutes of boxing. Final seconds of the fight.
Even Rudy Battle gets a workout tonight. Very nice. Good display of boxing.
And this fight is over. And the question is, will that be the last time we see Lupe Aquino?
Well, he was talking retirement today when I talked with him. Perhaps he should seriously consider that. He was not even in this match. A match that Lupe Aquino 5-10 years ago might have been.
Bernard Hopkins, very efficient, very effective, very impressive. Still to come, the official decision. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I can take care of myself in the ring, but in my car, I've got to protect a lot more than just my pretty face. Like George, 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 and George. That's why I trust my brakes to Meineke. They're experts.
There's a good look at the executioner, Bernard Hopkins of Philadelphia, looking to improve to 26-2 with that impressive performance tonight over Lupe Aquino, but it still has to be official, and for that we go up to ring announcer Ed Darian.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Coconut Ballroom here at Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel, we've got the scoring. All three judges, Frank Brunette, Eugene Grant, and Al DeVito, each score 120-108 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the USBA middleweight champion, Bernard the Executioner Hopkins. Hopkins. And let's hear it one more time for Lupe Aligans Aquino. Let's hear it for him.
A unanimous decision, 120-108. I think that's exactly what it was. A complete shutout pitched by Hopkins, who did not lose one round according to the judges.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. Bernard Hopkins looked, once again, terrific tonight. He looked like the champion that he is.
Well, it's time for tonight's Power Punch, which is brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural.